Big story today came out of Major League Baseball, and the reports that there has been a contentious meeting between Rob Manfred and the Phillies. Bryce Harper reportedly got into Rob Manfred's face and told him to get the hell out of the clubhouse when Manfred brought up the idea of a salary cap. Couple of things here. Number one, I have no problem with Bryce Harper doing this because Bryce Harper makes the most money in that clubhouse. Bryce Harper has the most financial security, and thus the guys that have the most security with the most money and the most dollar signs or zeros should be the ones that stick up for everybody else because they can't be released. They can't be demoted. They can't be shunned. Bryce Harper's not going anywhere, and he made all of the cash. What you don't need is the really wealthy superstars being quiet because they already got theirs. Bryce Harper easily could sit back and go, man, I'm paid until I retire, so I don't care if there's salary cap or not. This is not my fight. This is the fight for the mid-level veterans. This is the fight for the young players. This is a fight for the Paul Skeens of the world. But instead, Harper was the one that got agitated and said, get the hell out of here. I got no problem with that. I'd rather see him verbal than him being apathetic. That being said, Rob Manfred, this suggests that there is going to be labor war afoot, which would be the worst thing for Major League Baseball. As somebody who grew up in the 80s and then lived through the devastation of the 1994 strike, there has never, ever, ever truly been a full, I would say, buyback by the American public at large for baseball. 94 was the first of a couple of incidents, but the first really devastating incident of, I can't trust this league anymore. I don't trust the sport that I grew up loving. Not from me personally, but from the American public at large. It was the romanticism of baseball, and that started to get popped with labor stoppages in the 70s and 80s. But they never missed the World Series. There were stoppages, there were strikes, but there was never, ever a missed World Series. In 94, we had Tony Gwynn going for 400. We had Matt Williams, of all people, going for 60 or 61 home runs. And we had a potential Yankees and Expos World Series, of which everybody wanted to see because that was before the reboot of the Yankees dynasty a couple of years later. When all of that went away, the American public never forgave in full. And then steroids happened, and that eroded the trust in the game even more. And today we sit at a place where it's in a minimized cultural spot. A part of that is the sport itself. Part of that, though, is what happened in the 90s and then early 2000s. If Major League Baseball and Rob Manfred's 2 years ahead of this and going into the locker rooms and clubhouses and saying, we got to talk about the salary cap, it means he is bracing for the very worst. And this does not portend well. I do not like hearing that we are 2 years away from a labor stoppage and there's already these types of friction points. I don't know if the players will ever accept it. Bryce Harper in that rant said players are willing to miss 162. I don't know if the owners are going to say, let's go big on a salary cap and then back off a little bit by suggesting, okay, we conceded to get a victory. We shall see. But this is the first of many, you can be sure, very intense, very combative meetings between players and commissioner, players, front office, players, and owners. You can be sure of it. And the fact is, Rob Manfred doesn't feel like a great guy to be carrying out unpopular opinions or unpopular plans. So let's see how this goes. I got a feeling this is the start of many wildfires.